What's going on, everybody? This is Iconic Repaints. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here. I wanted to make a video about things that I have been doing the last several months that I haven't actually been making videos on. So it actually got brought to my attention multiple times that people actually thought I was done doing custom Funko Pops. And although I kind of was on a hiatus because I was busy doing commissions for a lot of the Godzilla stuff, that they do take up a lot of time and space on the work desk because they're just, a lot of them have been pretty massive. I did, manage to squeeze in some Funko Pops here and there, and even though I haven't made videos on them, with the exception of Mechagodzilla, I do want to at least put them in the spotlight a little bit in this video. So instead of each of them getting their own separate video, which I'm gonna be honest with you, the Funko Pop videos of mine don't really get a whole lot of traffic anyway, not nearly as much as the Godzilla stuff. At least in this video, I could keep up with my resume, so to speak, and just kind of track it for you guys as well. So we're just getting right back into it. In the first one I had that I left off with that I never made a video for is a custom Noob Saibot from Mortal Kombat X. I say Mortal Kombat X because the base pop is a Mortal Kombat X SubZero, so the design aesthetic is going to be Mortal Kombat X, and you're gonna see several Mortal Kombat characters on here. I love customizing Mortal Kombat characters, and I do commissions, but I tend to really do commissions as long as they interest me. I don't really like doing things that don't interest me. So if people want Mortal Kombat commissions, though, I'm all about it. And if I don't get those commissions, a lot of times I'll just buy the pop myself, get my creative juices out of my system with it, and then I'll usually put it up for sale or I'll hold on to it myself. Anyway, so this Noob Saibot figure was actually a SubZero pop that came loose because the box was damaged, so the seller was selling it for a really good price on Macari at the time. And it was just a deal that I really, I think it was like $5. And why pass it up? If anything, I knew I could get some use out of it, so I bought it knowing that I wasn't going to get a box with it, or maybe I did, but the box was really damaged. I forget. The seller did warn me about it. I went with it anyway. And I knew I wanted to at least get something going with this pop, so I kind of turned him into what I thought Noob Saibot would look like in Mortal Kombat X. I don't think he showed up in the game, so it was really just, I really didn't have anything else to base it off of. Obviously the SubZero sculpt was already there, and I kind of just wanted to try showing off new color techniques with Noob Saibot's skin and armor and outfit that I'd learned since the first time I did a Noob Saibot custom, which was based on the Mortal Kombat 1 designs. It was just a straight black ninja with like white eyes. So I definitely was able to see a lot of progress there. Next, I did another Mortal Kombat X character. I made a custom Tremor, and this was just a result of finding different Funko Pops that I thought if I could combine their parts, I could actually make a brand new cool character. And I knew the moment I saw the body, that I knew that body would be good for a Mortal Kombat Tremor, at least my concept of it. And getting a hooded ninja mask wasn't really a problem. I got that from Scorpion from the 2021 Mortal Kombat movie. But the issue was getting something that looked like Tremor's face mask. Like it almost looks like a chemical mask. But I did actually end up trying to sculpt my own. It was I thought it was going to be easier than it really was. It was more challenging. I don't think I was completely ready for it. But ultimately, it was kind of a fun experience to try to see where I was at with this. The sculpting, you could look at it and it looks amateur made. I won't lie. I really don't like sculpting. I try to avoid it, but I did want to. I had this idea of doing more Mortal Kombat characters that probably won't ever get made at this point. And Tremor is one of those characters that, he's background character is a stretch for this guy. Even saying that, I mean, he's probably like a D level character, so he would never get made. So I thought it was a pretty safe opportunity to try to do something and not have an officially licensed product come and make me look awful later on. So I did Tremor. I do love how the colors came out. I love how the eyes came out. I think the body looks great. The head, the face mask is the questionable part. I love the colors. I love everything else. I think the black wash on him is really cool. And next I did a custom, I don't know why I keep saying custom, they're all customs, Raphael from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And the only thing to really say here is that it was just an experiment to try to do like I don't know what you would call it, but like a gray washed out, just a color pop Raphael, where the only thing that was going to be in color was his bandana, which would, usually be the indicator of which Ninja Turtle it is, at least in the modern days, since they all used to, fun fact, they all used to wear red bandanas when they first came out. But yeah, Raphael's always been red. He's been my favorite Ninja Turtle, and I actually contemplated selling him, but I held on to him because I did this guy a while ago, but I held on to him because I do have a few of the other Ninja Turtles that I do want to try to do the same thing to, and see how they all look out. It will be interesting, the direct comparison here, because I did Raphael, like I said, a while ago, last year, and to see how I could do the same idea, but with all this time that has passed, I'm looking forward to see if I've learned any new tricks that will stand out. But yeah, Raphael's always been my favorite Ninja Turtle. He's all attitude, and even though I'm sure if I ever knew people like that in real life, they'd probably drive me up the wall, and I probably could never look at their face without getting pissed off. But at least in a cartoon Ninja Turtle fashion, yeah, I don't know, Raphael's he's just always hit with me. Yeah, moving on to the next one is Silver Surfer Black. Okay, so Silver Surfer is one of those characters that I think a lot of people know of, but they probably haven't really read much of. Everybody knows he's freaking powerful as hell, and he's a beast. Very few people know his backstory, that he saved his world from Galactus by making a deal where he would then kind of be Galactus's herald and go to other planets and find other planets that had a full, a good amount of energy, that were good sources of energy for Galactus to come consume later on. So at the cost of saving his own world, he's now, in a way, indirectly destroying other worlds. Until, of course, he comes to Earth and he sees all these heroes banding together, and he knows that Earth cannot be one of those planets that are destroyed. You pretty much know how it goes. But yeah, Silver Surfer Black, it was a great series. It was a great book, great run. I loved it, and the artwork is, just a really unique design for Silver Surfer, because Silver Surfer's always been so monotone. He's literally straight, like silver, but he doesn't have hair, he doesn't have armor or anything like that usually. So the design is very simple, and so Silver Surfer Black he was drawn with almost like it was like an affection coming over his body, and I just thought it was a neat look for him. So I tried to replicate it in Funko Pop form. I'm gonna say it was harder than it looks. I guess, right? Because I literally just dabbed all different bright neon colors and everything like that, in different shades of black and everything. So I kind of just dabbled them up on the surfboard and on his arm and shoulder and back. So it sounds simple, but really just trying to make a coherent kind of pattern, especially trying to make it look similar to what was in a comic book form. It was at least time consuming, not necessarily difficult, but very time consuming. And next I got another Mortal Kombat. This is Reptile. This is a 2021 Mortal Kombat movie Funko Pop of SubZero, and I wanted a reptile out of this, but I've done a few reptiles at this point, so I wanted to try something a little more. So I did a Google search for reptile, and I really loved the way he was drawn in the 90s comic book. And there was this one particular image that I really liked, the way the character was drawn with like very exaggerated lighting and kind of like reflections. So I went with that. Out of context, it might look like a weird colorway, but in context, I think it matches up really well. This is one of my favorite pops I probably ever did. And I'm also a reptile stan. Like, I've probably said it in other videos. Reptile was my dude. He was the fighter that I grew up fighting with, and probably would still be my favorite if the writers of Mortal Kombat, of the lore, didn't treat him like shit. Like, as time went on, he just has become it's harder and harder to really like Reptile as a character. But back then, man, he was the bomb.com. He was like a bodyguard to like the most badass guy, the badass villain. So you knew Reptile had to be on some crazy shit to be that guy's bodyguard. I think it was Shang Tsung, but I think he also was bodyguard of Shao Kahn. Anyway, but yeah, I love the way the greens came out. This particular pop was actually I put it into a giveaway, and one of my followers in Brazil won him. So he's in Brazil now. I got a picture of him out there with the guy who won. Pretty cool. I miss him a little bit, but it's cool to see somebody really appreciate your work like that too. So and he is probably one of the better pops as far as like an artistic direction. I think with the line work and the shading of the colors, the fade, the transitions and everything like that. He's probably one of the best ones I've done. All right, so we're more than halfway now. The next one is another custom SubZero from Mortal Kombat 2021. So I just felt like the Funko Pop that came out for the movie of SubZero was just way too simple, and it looked just too toyish. I mean, the blue was too metallic looking, too clean, and I liked the grittier, dirtier look of the costume in the movie. SubZero himself looked really battle worn, so I wanted something to just kind of replicate that attitude, and it wasn't a complex idea. Like I said, it was just really an excuse to buy a few of these SubZero Funko Pops because I did like the sculpt. I just thought the paint was a little but so it was just fun, just making him a little more gritty, a little more worn looking. I'm going to follow that up with another direct custom Funko Pop from the same sculpt. Again, this is SubZero Mortal Kombat 2021 as a base. This time I went with a Noob Saibot again. For I guess people that don't know, is once SubZero dies, his soul gets transformed into Noob Saibot, and he's basically just an pure evil spirit. He's similar to he's brought back in a similar fashion to way Scorpion is an undead version of his former self, and with all these now supernatural powers. Noob Saibot's kind of like the same way, and we know, spoiler warning if you haven't seen Mortal Kombat 2021, SubZero does die at the end. He's killed off, but I think as long as there's a Mortal Kombat sequel, there's going to be a SubZero, and that particular SubZero Bihan, I would bet my last dollar on that he's gonna at least come back or be referenced as Noob Saibot, and it's typically, as the games have shown, just a black outfitted version of the SubZero outfit, and yeah, he's got just crazy hellish powers now. So this guy was just an excuse to just make his outfit black and kind of make him also look a little dirty and rugged looking, and still add some, throw some silver onto him for good measure. Just, it's kind of been a color that Noob Saibot's adopting more and more with his outfits. I think in Mortal Kombat 11 it's black and silver a lot, so I wanted to kind of throw that in there as well. Also very pleased with the way he came out, and I actually think he's pending a sale at the moment. I'm not sure if it's final or not, but we'll see. Next up is Vegeta, Dragon Ball Z, and I wanted to also, one thing I really love how good artists do, and I'm seeing a lot more of it on Instagram, is a cell shading technique, where these Funko Pops are being done to look like they're straight out of a manga page or an anime or whatnot. So I really think it's a really cool look. It's something that I'm actually trying to get better at, and I'm not where I want to be. But yeah, so this guy was just actually done for a gift for somebody. Sorry, I spaced out for a second. And I knew that Vegeta was that person's favorite character, so this was a perfect excuse to really kind of see where I was at with this. And I really love how certain things came out. I might have gone a little heavy with the shading on top of the forehead, but I did want it to look drawn in a way. So I think I just kind of have to just find little subtle ways to bring it out a little better. But for a first attempt at cell shading, I'm really happy with the way this did come out. I love the way the outfit came out. And yeah, I mean, I definitely want to do more of this. So this was a good start. Another Mortal Kombat Funko Pop. This is Reptile from the Mortal Kombat movie, probably one of the most badass and most respected showings from Reptile. Like I said, as the story goes on through the years, he gets worse and worse. But when this movie came out, Reptile was like, his popularity was like at a peak. His badassery, his mystique, it was all at an all-time high. I really liked the Mortal Kombat, was it 95? Those ninja designs, because they had like the long black sleeves and everything like that. I thought the colors really popped over the black. Reptile had his best showing. I think he probably made a bigger impression than any of the bad guys, so to speak, especially the ninjas. He gave Liu Kang all his ass could handle, and if Liu Kang didn't have all that plot armor, Reptile might have really dished him out. But so one thing I really like about those designs is how the three ninjas have like those unique metal like silver masks. The base pop is a Mortal Kombat 1 SubZero, and a very easy transition for Reptile, because just like SubZero's got the ice blast, Reptile's got the acid throw, so an easy repaint there. Again, I had to sculpt the face mask part to make it look like a mouth, and I think I definitely did better with this than I did with Tremor. It's still very challenging. The base is of course a Mortal Kombat 2021 SubZero. Damn, how many of those things did I buy? But yeah, so I really do dig him. I think he has a very kind of clean and simple look, just like that movie version. He's also one of my favorites, and again, it just happens to be Reptile. What could I say? Okay, skipping right ahead here, the next would be the Godzilla from 2021, but I already did a video of him recently. So it's probably very fresh in the minds of my subscribers. And if you do want to actually see more of it, just scroll down a little bit. It should be popping up because it wasn't even a month ago. But you know, you could definitely see here real quick the before and after of Godzilla 2021. Now, the last video or the last pop I got for you today is another Godzilla. It's Godzilla from 2021, but this is a Shin Godzilla colorway. So Shin Godzilla is a movie that came out in 2016. There we go. And it really kind of was an explosion of attention. I got a lot of great press and great reviews. A lot of fans do love it. A lot of fans also dislike it. Mostly because of Shin Godzilla's design. It's a very controversial thing, but the movie had a very powerful presence in the fandom. Still does. Shin Godzilla merchandise really sells, and it's a unique colorway because it's the first time Godzilla really has had a purple power heat ray and everything like that. So it was a cool excuse to really amp up a black, base Godzilla color with some nice hints of red in there, but then really blow it up with kind of different shades of purple. So ultimately, yeah, this is the one that actually got done with today, and I think this one's also pending a sale. Really dig the way this guy came out. I think the heat breath is a really cool purple, like the way it transitions into different shades of purple, and then at the end of it, it's got the black kind of silvery smoke hue thing. Like if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm going for. Out of context, it's like, okay, whatever, dude. But yeah, so Shin Godzilla colorway. Obviously, it's a legendary Godzilla design. I don't think we'll ever get a Shin Godzilla Funko Pop. So again, another example of probably making a custom that's safe to make without, you know, somebody making me look terrible down the line. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. That does bring me up to date with Funko Pops, but I do have more coming up. I got more projects that I definitely want to see come up, and Funko Pops are a big part of it. I have a pile of Funko Pops that I need to start working on. And yeah, so everybody be safe. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. Everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe. Bye.